Okay, folks, more factoring. So once we've done a difference of two squares, check, and we've common factored, the one thing we can do is we can look for a simple trinomial factor. So we go to step 3, simple trinomial factoring, when we've already done a GCF and we've already done dots. So the way we do a simple trinomial factor is we look to complete a pattern. The pattern that we have right here is we're looking for, let's see, I'll write this down. We're looking for 3 terms. Remember, terms are separated by plus or minus signs, and they're generally in the form x squared plus bx plus c. So just like this one down here. So we've got x squared, we've got a number beside x, and we've got a number at the end. It doesn't have to be a plus, it could be a plus or minus, so it could be minus, it could be minus. So what we then look for is, well, we make our 2 brackets. And again, this is step 3, right? So this is step 3. Remember, step 1 is GCF, and step 2 is dots. So step 1, GCF. Step 2 is dots. If those don't work, we go to step 3, which is simple trinomial factor, STF, simple trinomial factor. So we make 2 brackets and we find 2 numbers, okay? Find 2 numbers that add to B, which is our middle number here, and multiply to C, which is our end number here. So once we've done that, we can factor, and we 2 brackets, and then we square root the x squared. Okay, so that usually doesn't make a lot of sense until I've actually done it. So square root of x squared is just x. So we're going to take 2 brackets, x and x, and then we're looking for 2 numbers that multiply to 12 and add up to 7. Now here's where things get a little bit easier for you. If you have that factoring chart, and that factoring chart is something that I put online for you, you can use it to shortcut if you don't know your factors very well. So we're looking for factors of 12. Factors just mean 2 numbers that multiply to 12. And we're looking for 2 numbers that multiply to 12 and add up to 7. And if you look at that chart over here, look at 12. Here is our factor chart. 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. What 2 numbers add up to 12? Or multiply to 12 and add to 7? Positive 7, 3 and 4. So 3 and 4. We are done. That's how you do a simple trinomial factor. That's it. That's all there is to do it. Let's try it again. So, no GCF, no dots. We're going to do STF, simple trinomial factor. 1 bracket, 2 brackets. It's an M, not an X. That's fine. Doesn't change anything. 2 numbers that multiply to 30 and add to negative 11. Now, here's where we've got to be a little bit careful. If I looked at my chart, I'm just going to write it. I'd have 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, and 5 and 6. Those are my factors of 30 that I'm going to see on my chart. So obviously 5 and 6 add up to 11. So our answers are going to be 5 and 6. Now here's where you have to be careful. It's negative 11. So we have to go negative 5 and negative 6. So just be careful you pay attention. Now, does negative 5 times negative 6 equal positive 30? Yes, it does. There are some factors here that aren't going to work, and that's a rare case. And I usually only put one or two on a test that don't work, or none. But there are some in your homework that say can't be factored, because you're not always going to find two numbers that add up to the end. But just be cautious in telling me on a test that those aren't factored, that those can't be factored. Really go through the factor list and double, triple check. All right, let's do it again. Bracket, bracket, A, A. All right, two numbers that multiply to negative 18. Now, this is a big red flag here, okay? Negative 18. So our factors of 18 are going to be 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6. Now, because they multiply to negative 18, you know one of these numbers is going to be positive, one of them is going to be negative, because a negative times a positive is going to be a negative. That means you're actually looking for two numbers that add up to 3, but it's really a difference of 3. So which two numbers will add up to 3? Well, positive 6 and negative 3 add up to positive 3. So let's review that again. I had to get two numbers that multiplied to negative 18. I looked at my factors of 18. They're 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. So those are my possible answers. But because it's negative 18, one of them's positive, one of them's negative. So we're kind of looking for two numbers, or we are looking for two numbers that have a difference of 3. My difference of 3 is 3 and 6. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. Boom, done. Away we go. Okay, let's do it again. We've got 12. Factors of 12 are going to be 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Those are all my factors of 12. So we are looking for factors of 12 that multiply to negative 12. So we get a clue. It's going to be a positive negative, just like the last one. Multiply to negative 12, add to negative 1. There's an imaginary 1 there, remember, because that's 1x. So which two numbers have a difference of 1? 3 and 4. This is a 4. This is a 3. Why? Because negative 4 plus 3 gives you negative 1. The most common error is to put these in the wrong place. Not the end of the world, okay? It's not a big deal. I just want you to try and practice. All right, so there's our first video on simple trinomial factors.